thank the panel for their testimony as well. Ms. McCoy, when claims are processed in the absence of supporting evidence, what could potentially happen to a veteran's disability claim?
We do an exhaustive development process to get all of the evidence that's relevant to a claim. We do that up front. And we work with the veteran, their representative, and other service providers, other federal records. We do an exhaustive search to get everything up front.
What could possibly happen to veterans' claims if evidence is not submitted?
If evidence is not submitted, we don't have to consider, and we make a decision and weigh the evidence that we have. If subsequently we find that we miss something, a veteran submits something late, a doctor finds something in a drawer, and that's medical evidence we consider, we will revisit that claim.
How long would that take? And how long would a veteran have to wait for their claims because the evidence is not submitted due to the fault of the VA?
There might be many reasons for the reason that we don't have that evidence, and that would be a case-by-case basis.
Thank you. Next question for Mr. Arante. Based on your office's investigation, do you agree with the VBA's insistence that the St. Petersburg RO's mail backlog was not due to poor preparation of handling the documents?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Okay. Based on your office's investigation, do you agree with VBA's insistence that the St. Petersburg RO, I'm also from Florida, that the St. Petersburg RO's mail backlog was not due to poor preparation of handling of documents?
Sir, we think that it was due to poor management, and it did affect the timeliness of claims processing. I think it added. You can't say just that alone, but from July or June 2014 to the end of December, their average time to process claims jumped about 29 points. So to say 18,000 documents did not affect claims processing timeliness, I don't think anybody could say that.
Are there any plans for the VBA to ensure that the claims in this RO backlog were not negatively affected, resulting in denials or claims receiving lower ratings due to missing and unprocessed evidence of a claimant?
Congressman, we process all of our claims and we in the electronic system, and we now have that centralized mail system, which was what we went into in July of 2015.
Thank you. Mr. Arante, please. Can you respond to that question?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Again, are there any plans for the VBA to ensure the claims in this RO backlog were not negatively affected, resulting in denials or claims receiving lower ratings due to missing and unprocessed evidence of a claimant? Do you have any information with regard to that?
I have no information.
This affects my constituents.
Right, I have no information. They're going to process the mail. Are they going to go back and make it right? That's a question for VBA. But I have no knowledge that they are or they're not.
Ms. McCoy.
Congressman, we make sure that we, to the extent possible, we have all the evidence when we make a decision. The amount of mail that was in the mail portal at that time in July of 2014 this was a new process for us. We were learning from it, and St. Petersburg was one of our earliest adopters. There were pieces of mail in the regional office that were what we call drop mail. They were not active mail, but they needed to be put with the folder. An example would be a copy of a letter we sent out. So it's not a piece of evidence, but it needs to be with the folder. So we had a cleanup effort in St. Petersburg and other places where we had to get that drop mail associated.
How many of our heroes were negatively affected by this?
I would say that there was some time delay in the processing, but there was not a delay in making sure that the right decision was made for the veteran.
Thank you. Mr. Arante, in the CACI scanning facility, would you say that the VA staff followed VBA's shipping standard operating procedure on veterans intake program regulations?
Sir, no. I don't think that was followed. I don't know how. I guess if I found 100 pieces of mail, I could say maybe that was a mistake or somebody didn't manage that properly. But 18,000 pieces of mail, I don't know if there was any procedures being followed. I just don't know how that amount of mail accumulates.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. McCoy, one quick question before I recognize Ms. Brownlee. Out of